We'll call the City Council regular meeting to order for Tuesday, February 18th, 2025. Would everyone please stand for the Pledge of Allegiance? I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. Call the roll, please.
Councilmember Wilson.
Here.
Councilmember Cordes.
Here.
Mayor Hoyt.
Here.
Councilmember Bernatz.
Here.
Councilmember Lean.
Here. All right, any changes to the agenda?
Nope.
No changes? All right, seeing no changes, I'd seek a motion to approve the agenda.
Motion to approve.
Second.
Motion by Holly, second by Nick. All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
All right, moving on. Our next item is citizen comments. If there's anyone in attendance wishing to speak, please come forward at this time. Seeing none, we'll move on to item 7, which is our consent agenda. I'd seek a motion to approve the consent agenda.
So moved. Second.
Motion by Jake, second by Steve. All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Next item, new business. Item 12.1 is a resolution authorizing the submittal of a Minnesota Department of Natural Resources Outdoor Recreation Grant Program application. Kelly.
Good evening, Mayor and City Council. The Minnesota Department of Natural Resources, the DNR, announced several grant opportunities for park and trail projects across Minnesota. These grants help local governments in the state create partnerships with the DNR to fund projects ranging from local parks to regional trails to trail connections. One of the grant opportunities, the Outdoor Recreation Program, was identified as a funding option and source in the approved Rambling River Park Master Plan that was approved by City Council in August of 2023. This grant provides matching grant funds for up to 50% of the cost of acquisition, development, and/or redevelopment of local parks and recreation areas. The maximum grant award is $350,000 for a total project cost of at least $700,000. The program requires a 1-to-1 match, which can consist of cash, values of materials, labor, and equipment usage by the local sponsor, donations, or any combination of. Eligible projects include development of outdoor recreation facilities on land owned by the applicant. There's a wide range of eligible recreation facilities from campgrounds to sport fields to courts to outdoor pools, and permanent skate parks are also eligible. Non-permanent skate parks are not eligible. Support facilities can also be included in the grant application. This could include lights, benches, picnic tables, trash receptacles, walkways, and/or accessible routes that connect facilities to one another. During the Rambling River Park Master Planning process, public and stakeholder engagement showed a strong desire for a skate park in the community to serve preteens and teens who are currently going to other communities for skating, scootering, and biking. The approved master plan for the park included constructing a skate park at Feely Fields as a short-term project. The skate park has been the Parks and Recreation's top priority over the last several years behind the new playground equipment at Rambling River Park. This new playground opened on July 1st, 2024. The city applied for an outdoor recreation grant for a skate park and sport facilities in spring 2024. Unfortunately, the city's application wasn't funded. The DNR had over $16.5 million in grant requests for an available $4.6 million. Staff received feedback on the city's grant application from the DNR last year and also received some comments. They did encourage us to resubmit next year. There are a few applicants ahead of you, but you landed very close to the cutoff. It's a good project and highly competitive, is what the grant project manager replied to city staff. Last year, the scoring range for awarded projects was 62 to 73 points. Farmington's rating was a 59, so we're just a few points out of being funded. At their most recent meeting, January 8th, 2025 meeting, the commission unanimously approved a recommendation to the city council to authorize the city's grant application for the outdoor recreation program for a skate park and support facilities with matching funds of $350,000. The park system has so little for teenagers, and this is the population that has fallen through the cracks of the department. The application deadline is March 31st. The DNR will provide feedback on draft grants submitted by February 28th, which staff plans to do. Staff is incorporating the feedback received from the DNR on last year's application into this year's submission. Carrie is currently writing the grant. Thank you, Carrie, for your time, your ideas, your questions, your patience with me, and working with me on this grant application. We couldn't do it without you, so I appreciate your time. I also want to thank HKGI in Dakota County. If you remember, last year, Dakota County retained the services of HKGI to write the grant for the city at no cost to the city. They're allowing us to use the concept plans and maps again this year with the application. So this is one of the concepts that was included in the grant last year. We'll be able to use this as well, along with the maps. And this is just the concept of what it could be. If we were awarded the grant, we would have public engagement sessions. We want the skaters, the scooters, the bikers to come in and tell us what they want. It's their park, it's not ours. I've learned a lot about scootering, but I don't know much about it. We do know they go to Rosemount, so this plan was adapted sort of off of what's happening at the Rosemount Skate Park. Funding for the grants will be announced in summer, with projects required to be completed by June 30th of 2027. As mentioned earlier, grants require a one-to-one match for up to 50% of a total project cost of at least $700,000. Staff recommend using liquor operations community project funds in the amount of up to $350,000 for the match. As of December 31st, 2023, there is $642,000 in this fund. I called Josh Solinger prior to us starting the grant application to discuss Rambling River Park, the skate park, and using liquor operations funds for this grant application. Want to make sure that him and his team were in support. Josh was in full support of it. He mentioned to me that his oldest son has recently started skateboarding, and to get it done, he'd love to be able to bring his son up here to skateboard. I want to thank Josh, his team, and the community for shopping locally, which supports Farmington, or supports community projects in Farmington, including numerous projects within the Park and Rec system. Thus, the action requested tonight is to adopt Resolution 2025-16, authorizing the submittal of a DNR outdoor recreation grant application for design and construction of a skate park and support facilities, and approve the matching funds of up to $350,000 to come from the Liquor Operations Community Project Funds. Be happy to answer any questions council has.
Thank you, ma'am. Steve?
Kelly, I don't have any questions, just a couple of comments. I really appreciate your dedication to bringing this back, soliciting feedback, collaboration with Carrie. It's just a lot of good stuff there. And I'm assuming this is part of the application, but there is a conveyance of council's long-term support of this and how this is part of our long-term vision for the parks, correct?
Yep, we'll make sure to add a sentence in there that does convey that. It's good feedback that we can
Yeah,
add.
because I do think that adds a lot of value to another government agency to know that the local government, assuming my peers would support it, which I presume that they would because we have in the past, I think it does say a lot about our commitment to the project.
Thank you.
Jake?
No questions from me, but just to reiterate Steve's thank you for your dedication to this. I think it'll be a great addition to our community once we finally get there.
Holly?
No questions. We tried last year. We're going to try again.
That's right.
Now we cross all the fingers and the toes.
Nick?
I probably said this last year, but I really appreciate that you've kind of highlighted that there is a missing demographic with our teenage age in particular and kind of young adult, and how we're going after that now is a big part of this plan. This is huge. With that said, one big piece of anything in that kind of age demographic is like the idea of self-policing, right?
Yep.
Having them take care of their own things.
Yep.
This is kind of unrelated to this, but has there been any thought given to forming some sort of group of just volunteers or something that might be looking for that kind of civic volunteer activity that would take up ownership, kind of like in the Adopt a Park situation, but maybe be like the champions of this place?
Yeah, we haven't talked about that specifically, but in talking to the Park and Rec director in Rosemount, they kind of self-police there.
Right.
They haven't seen any more graffiti there than anywhere else in their system. So it's pretty similar. He said there's not a lot of smoking, so he does think there's self-police happening there already. But yeah, we haven't talked about that specifically, but something we could definitely
Just curious
visit
if we
with.
get farther
Yep.
down the road on this, that kind of topic, when we start talking about, you know, teenage age groups, they're at that age where they should be empowered a little bit to kind of have that responsibility.
And he did say put it in a very visible place. You know, that's a very visible spot.
Good?
Yep.
Yeah, to add to what my peers have stated, a huge thank you to you, your team, the Park and Rec Commission, and also this council and prior councils to continue to have the plans at the ready, right? To look out far enough to think about all ways that we can better support our community, its residents and businesses, and having this at the ready so that when the application comes forward, we submit on it. We learned from last year, we resubmit for it this year. And then, you know, thank you to the residents. You know, without the residents and the transients who visit our liquor operations, our 2 locations, we wouldn't have the community project fund. And so, you know, it's another way to reinvest tax dollars locally to help benefit all people. I feel good. We're going to get it this time.
Yep.
Yes,
I
we
feel
are.
confident too.
Yep. It's a great plan. Thank you. With that, I would seek a motion to adopt the resolution as requested.
Motion to approve.
Motion by Steve,
Second.
second by Holly. Call the roll, please.
Councilmember Cordes.
Yes.
Councilmember Lean.
Yes.
Councilmember Wilson.
Yes.
Mayor Hoyt.
Yes.
Councilmember Burnett.
Yes.
Thank you. All right, roundtable. Amy, you'd start.
In the interest of time, I'm going to pass and just say no report this week.
Nick?
I am the poster child for not being well prepared in the winter, so please don't be me. Keep gas in your car, keep your phone charged, keep a blanket, wear a jacket. Things that would be good lessons for myself to take. But yeah, it's cold. Stay warm.
Holly?
It's Cabaret Week here in Farmington. So if you're not at all familiar, Cabaret is a program that's put on with students from all of the schools in the district. It's at Bachman on Friday night, Saturday afternoon, and Saturday evening. And it's amazing. Fantastic thing. So if you're looking for something low cost, great family fun, your kids like music, like the arts, like singing, like dancing, that would be the place to go if you don't have anything else happening.
Thank you. Jake?
I went back and forth over the last couple hours whether or not I want to tell this story from vacation. And I promise this is not me boasting that I spent 4 or 5 days in California.
Right.
But when we were out in California, Palm Springs specifically, we attended a minor league hockey game. And my wife and I struck up a conversation with the attendant working at the stadium. And he asked where we were from. We said, Minnesota. Whereabouts? Because he lived in Minnesota previously for a job. I said, Farmington. He said, I used to live in Farmington. For 9 years, he lived in Farmington. He said he's been transferred around the country for work, but he said Farmington was his favorite place that he lived for. He worked for Marriott. So his favorite place to live. For 9 years, he loved this community. He said probably 2 or 3 years ago, he came back. He said, things have changed. Things look different. There's a lot more houses. There's a lot more development, but the people are still the same. So I think it's just a great story to illustrate kind of our goals as elected officials, our city staff's goals about the kind of community that we want to develop. So just thought it was a small world that we ran into somebody that lived, I think, a half mile from where my wife and I live right now. And somebody whose daughter graduated 2 years ahead of me in high school and just still looks back at his time in Farmington with fondness.
I love that.
It's very cool.
Steve?
I have no comments tonight.
Lynn?
I have one comment tonight. I want to thank council for the approval of the hire of David Chansky, who will be the new Human Resource Director / Assistant City Administrator. The position has been open since September, so we are really excited to get David here. He's starting on February 27th. Thank you.
Thank you. Shirley?
Nothing tonight.
Carrie? Deanna?
Thank you, Mayor and Council. Tonight, we had a great discussion about some of the projects that we envision moving forward. And with the EDA and the Park and Rec Commission, we were able to really dig in and talk about this wayfinding plan. So thank you for your support for that project. And now we have our work cut out for implementation of it. But to know that you appreciated the project and support where we're going with it is really nice. We also talked about the year in review at the EDA, and I'll be presenting that at a future meeting to kind of go through everything. But again, we accomplished a lot together, and I look forward to working with all of you as we continue to accomplish great things for this community. So thank you.
Thank you, ma'am. John?
Thank you, Mayor, City Council members. Just to note, the Duchesne Parkway Spruce Street intersection improvements is out for bid right now. So we are opening bids on March 6th. It is an electronic bid opening, so we don't get any paper. We basically flip a switch. Everything is submitted, all the numbers are filled in, and we instantly have a tabulation of the bids. So we're expecting we'll be bringing that to you at your second meeting in March.
Thank you. Kelly?
I wanted to thank Open Door Food Pantry and Faith United Methodist Church today. I stopped there probably about 3:15, 3:20 today to drop off paper bags, and I thought it'd be kind of a quieter day because it was cold out. At that time, there was already 175 families that had been there. They said at 2:10 there was already a line, and it was circled through the church. So thank you to the church for letting that continue where we're modeling, and thank you to Jason and Nicole for all they do to make sure that we feed our neighbors and the people that live in our community. It showed today what it means, so thank you to them. Outdoor rinks and warming houses, we extended the season by a week. They will be open through this Sunday, both warming houses and outdoor rinks, and then they will be officially closed for the season.
Thank you. Kim?
I have no comment this evening.
Chief?
So in the consent agenda, it was approved, the Quick Trip in City of Empire donated to the Farmington Fire Department $1,000. So I want to say thank you very much to Quick Trip. We did the ribbon cutting. I still have the big check up at the station that they gave us. It's a phenomenal store. It's actually the way they explained it, it's state of the art. It's not any other type of Quick Trip that's out there. They actually have a self-checkout and other items of that nature. It was a really, really neat event. It was packed. There wasn't any parking. I had to park down below, and it was cold to walk, so. But we're very appreciative of it. Last night was our first candidate informational meeting. The next one is March 4th at 8:30 a.m. And then it's March 10th at 7 p.m. And then it'll be March 15th at 7 p.m. at Station 2.
Thank you. Chief?
I have nothing tonight, Mayor.
All right. I have nothing. With that, we look for motion to adjourn.
I'll make a motion to adjourn the meeting at 7:17.
Motion by
I'll
Jake.
second the motion to adjourn at 7:17:54.
Second by Steve. All in favor, say aye. Aye. And we're adjourned at 7:18.